2006, and it is 7:16. And we're going to have a couple of things tonight, just to let you know the order. We're going to start, as is traditional with the Yonkers City Council meetings, with the Pledge of Allegiance. We're going to be followed by a meeting of the Committee of the Whole, and then we're going to have our public hearing on Ridge Hill, and then we're going to have the council meeting. Now, there was some discussion at one point that we were going to have a vote on School 6 and Longfellows, that the Emilio brothers would be designated. That is not going to happen tonight, so if you are planning on speaking on that at the Committee of the Whole, that is not necessary. Now, the rules for the Committee of the Whole are that you can speak for 3 minutes. The rules for the public hearing are that you can speak for 5 minutes. So if you want to speak quickly, you can speak at the Committee of the Whole rather than the other. You obviously have the legal right to speak twice. We have a lot of people in the room. It's hot, even though it is air conditioned, which is why we're here at Saunders tonight. Anything you can do to make the meeting, that part of it, go quicker. If you want to speak at the Committee of the Whole, that would be fine. It is now my pleasure to introduce Camille Wilson. Camille is a graduate of Wharton High School. She's standing at the podium over there. She was the editor-in-chief of the Law Magnet newsletter Mens Rea. She interned at the Westchester County Courthouse. In the fall, she'll be attending Temple University in Philadelphia with a major in psychology. She plans on being a child psychologist. One of the reasons why Camille was picked was because she's going to be recipient of the Yonkers African American Heritage Festival Scholarship, and that committee will be having its festivities this weekend, Saturday, July 15th. That we will give to the council right in front of our chairs, and then we'll start the meeting. Please stand up. Public schools. I will now ask the clerk to call the roll.
Council President Fesnick.
Here.
Majority Leader McDowell. Here. Minority Leader McLaughlin. Councilmember Nabi. Here. Councilmember Robertson.
Here.
Councilmember Murtaugh.
Here.
Councilmember Barbado.
Here.
Mr. President, there are 4 speakers this evening. Our first speaker is Martin McGloin, and after Martin, your little boy.
So we would like the person who's called to come up and the person who's on deck to sort of sit in the seat behind them. Camille, you don't have to sit there for the rest of the meeting. You're okay. You did the pledge. You can go back to your readings.
So this is the Committee of the Whole, right?
This is the Committee of the Whole. You have 3 minutes, and the clerk will tell me at 2 minutes, and then I will gavel you down to 3. And we'll try to keep people to the time frame because there are a lot of speakers tonight.
Okay, well, I'd like to speak actually about these whole action tonight and the resolutions, and what I have to say is really, I have no comment.
Okay, I'm on deck now, Chuck, now that we've got these voting metaphors going here, and I hope the clock starts now. I have a lot to say. I'm going to start with this amendment, which the zoning code, which I think is a terrible mistake. I cannot believe that we are actually allowing a developer to dictate our zoning code, and I saw an article in the Journal News the other day, laws rewritten to aid Kelly up in White Plains. Well, if this was a headline about Yonkers, it would say, laws rewritten by Ratner to aid his development. And if you actually look at this zoning amendment, if any of you have bothered to read it, you will see that there are so many things in it that are allowing this developer to have basically free range once he gets this zone approved. For example, an extra floor can be added without any approvals. The gross floor area can be increased without any special approvals as long as it's less than 5% or not more than 5%. Any building that has 20% residential can go up to 16 stories high, even if it's only on the first floor. That's absurd. That's not a residential building if it's only 20% residential. I'm also going to challenge you, in particular Sandy and Chuck, since you guys have changed your vote recently and decided that this is now acceptable. If you could please explain what the exclusions are that this zone allows. There seem to be at least a dozen exclusions from the regular zoning code that is allowed in this special area. And in particular, parking does not have to be the same as it would have to be for each individual use. The site plan is not subject to the same kind of expiration date that it is for normal zoning. And if either one of you could explain to me what it means, the provisions of subsection C of section 4334, subsection K of section 4336, subsection A of section 4343, subclauses 2 through 4, subsection C of section 4343, section 4344, will you get the drift? And please don't use your Blackberries or get a lawyer to tell you, but can any of you answer that question? You don't even know what you're voting on here. You're giving away our zoning, the right for us to decide what kind of development we want to a developer. And this zoning is going to apply anywhere in the city where there's an 80-acre site. Mayor McGloin has already said they want it for the raceway. Next, gee, with all these urban renewal areas that are being dedicated to one developer, what's to stop them from saying that they have an 80-acre site assembled? This is appalling. It's absolutely appalling behavior. There's good reason why the Westchester County Planning Board rejected this zoning. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find any other municipality that would bend over backwards like this for a developer.
Speakers Terry Joshi and Anthony Terry is Terry Ricadano.
I'd like to publicly honor Nick Barbato and John Bertrand for their understanding of their civic duty. They have exhibited amazing courage in going through the process, and more importantly, they have shown us what an honorable public servant can look like. It looks like someone with instinctive moral character. It looks like a person who is willing to attempt with great steadfastness over months and years to turn a municipal boondoggle into a project to benefit the community that they serve. To the rest of you, I say, you have no claim to the same high moral ground. You are willing to vote for a project that will bring an obscene amount of congestion to our roads, that will level the wetlands and the forests and assure trees that anywhere else would already have been turned into a nature reserve. You are willing to exponentially increase air pollution in a metropolitan area with one of the highest asthma and allergy rates in the nation. You are willing to spend $12 million of city money to build firehouses that developers should pay for. You are willing to put the costs of access roads that the developers should pay for. You are willing to overwhelm neighborhoods in Yonkers and in Greenberg and create congestion throughout not just these two communities, but all of southern Westchester. You are willing to create a financial strain on our municipal services that may or may not, who knows, be offset by retail tax revenues.